Mr. Whisper, the man without a shadow, was brutally murdered 20 years ago, and yet, somehow, he has returned. And now the mysterious figure stalks Gotham City's most notorious crime lords, killing them off, one by one. With the underworld of Gotham in chaos, the Dark Knight is drawn into conflict with Mr. Whisper, only to discover that this immortal killer has a terrifying connection to Bruce Wayne's youth. Despite this shocking revelation, the Caped Crusader must find a way to stop the unkillable man from unleashing a lethal plague on Gotham. Hello everyone, Ryan here. So, I read this graphic novel, Batman Gothic. I really liked it. Definitely enjoyed it. Wasn't really what I was expecting, but at the same time, it did surprise me. And yeah, it turned out to be pretty awesome. I do want to say I like the style of the artwork in this because it doesn't seem to be like the typical kind of Batman style. It's almost like it harkens back to like the original Batman comics, like the old detective comics, I think. And it just reminds me of, it has like a very kind of like 1940s or 1950s kind of vibe to it. And I like that because it adds a lot to the overall story, the overall theme, because it's supposed to be a much more darker kind of story that involves Batman, obviously. But yeah, this guy, Mr. Whisper, for whatever reason, I don't want to spoil anything, but he's immortal, and he starts, killing off these well-known criminals. Well, I guess you say like crime bosses, and because as far as the story is concerned, I guess it's supposed to be during a time when Gotham is just completely overrun with crime, and pretty much it's like these different crime bosses, they're the ones that have complete rule over Gotham, or at least most of Gotham, and to the point where even like Batman is powerless, because I guess it's kind of like he knows that he can't just go in and like capture, I guess, or take on all of these different crime bosses and throw them in jail and all that, because they're good at what they do. They're good at being sneaky or whatever. They're good at hiring other people to do the dirty work for them. And then of course this pisses off Batman. But there's also a lot of some pretty cool fight scenes in this. Also kind of like clever, cool fight scenes, but also clever fight scenes. I don't know how else to describe them. Because also too, it has like I said, it's got like the 1940s, 1950s kind of vibe. Also like a mystery kind of vibe to it, which the story really is. It's more of like a mystery story. And also too, there's as far as the different graphic, violent images that are depicted in this, I would say really match. Again, it's another thing that matches the overall tone, the overall theme, and I guess another one word to describe it would be has like gothic kind of vibe. So, which makes sense because it has the title Batman Gothic, and I will say one thing I can say, I guess, is this Mr. Whisper guy. since he's immortal, he has a history of, because he started out as a monk like over 300 years ago, and instead of being completely like virtuous and never committing a sin, he decided that in order to become truly pure, that, and also to, in order to, I guess, win God's favor and like go straight to heaven and all that, he decided that it's better to commit every sin whenever you can, as much as possible, because only then can you truly completely purify yourself, or something like that. And I mean, so then at the same time, this Mr. Whisper guy, he convinces the other monks that he's right, and so he convinces pretty much like the entire monastery of monks to commit a bunch of sins along with him, and they get very violent. They kill some people. They actually end up like torturing and raping some nuns, and burning them, and it was very interesting, because I want to say, like, I feel like the writers of this like got their ideas from actual events. Yeah, I'm not saying I know that for sure, just saying like that's the impression I get, that because I do remember like reading about something along those lines that, I mean, I could imagine that there probably was something like this or something kind of similar that happened where monks like ended up like committing a bunch of sins, crimes, or whatever. Yeah. Or I don't know, maybe I just like, I'm thinking of like some other stories that I've read before. So I mean, yeah, then of course the build up in this, in which Batman eventually faces off against this Mr. Whisper guy, and it's very interesting. There's also kind of a twist ending. I don't want to give it away, obviously. I'm not going to give it away. You got to read this. I mean, but it's definitely an interesting twist. I want to say that I definitely didn't see it coming. I guess maybe I kind of did. And or maybe I kind of didn't. But either way, still pretty surprising. And so, I mean, as far as the rating goes, I gotta give it 5 stars. Definitely 5 stars. It's I mean, because it's not like your typical Batman story. I mean, I think so. It's slightly different, dark, edgy, slightly edgy. And, so yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. That'll do for my review of Batman Gothic. I do recommend it to all DC Comics fans, all Batman fans. And, yeah, thanks for watching this. Thanks for listening. As always, next time, don't forget, keep it real, keep on rocking, and peace.